Mike, this is Mike E, says, when I go to simulated CDs, I see a lot of entries with zero open interest in the options. I tried to change the criteria, but was not successful. I also want a minimum probability of 75%. What is a simulated CD? Okay, this is one of the covered call default screens that we have. There is a, let me go back here to YouTube real quick. There we go, covered calls, covered calls. There we go, covered call approach. No, sorry guys. Hold on. Nope, stop. I apologize. This is where I want it to be. All right. Let's see, rolling a covered call to roll with a covered call approach, far out in time, high return, and high protection. This is a default screen on PowerOptions called the simulated CD. And what it does is it goes far out in time, about a year, with a deep in the money covered call position. The idea is to simulate a high protection of a CD, 44% downside protection, 38 downside protection. What is downside protection in a covered call? It's how far the stock can drop before you're technically losing money on the position. But while still seeing a reasonable, 1 year, 2 year out in time return on the position if you're assigned. Sort of the design is to be as close to a fire and forget position as possible. If you're not worried that the stock's going to fall 25% or 23%, and in about a year or so, you're comfortable with an 8.5% return, or the remaining 8 months of the year, about 1% per month, this covered call on Howmet Aerospace might meet your criteria. Stock trading at $42.93, selling the 2024 January 36 strike, 6 points in the money, for a premium of $9.75. Has a 72% probability assigned, just shy of Mike's requirements in this case. And again, zero open interest. But we do have a lot here with a reasonable open interest as well. Now, let's take a look at Mike's criteria. He said that he wanted a probability of 75% or higher with open interest as well. So first, let's see one at a time. Probability, 75%. Okay, we still have 29 total results and some valid open interest here. MGM Resorts, Micron, 1. XP, Las Vegas Sands, SSR Mining, Wheaton Precious Metals is out. And I'm just looking at some of the other ones. Okay. Let me take down Wheaton first, WPM. All right, and now we'll put in our greater than zero open interest. We might even put something better than that. Let's put in an open interest of greater than 5. We'll take out that one we saw. Okay, so we still have 21 results. I know that's not what you probably saw maybe earlier this week. That might not be what you saw midweek or maybe even this morning. I don't know, Mike. I'll have to keep an eye on it, but to me, this is a reasonable list. Monster Beverage, Activision, Sony. Now, something interesting happened. In this search, Mike, in the default search, to make it more simple, we have checked the one result per security selection. When we saw that first WPM trade, stock trading at 42 or so, and if the 36 strike came up, no, that was the Howard one. I'm sorry, I've got my stocks with it. That was the other example. But yeah, Wheaton's at 49.11, and the 36 strike came up, but it didn't have any open interest. And that's because the system looked at all of them and it picked that one because it did have the higher return. However, in the whole database, and all of them that matched before the cycling of that one result per security, Wheaton Precious Metals does have a strike that matches the criteria, that's still offering a 27.8% downside protection, a 7.2% return for roughly that, I say 8 months, okay, 8.5. Somewhere in that, it's closer to 9. I understand. It's close, a little bit closer to 9 there, 9 months out in time. But Yeah, less than 1% per month, but a 7.2% return on this position, still being in the money by the desired range. So did I take the one result per security out? Let's take the one result per security out. And I'm sorry, we have 21 total results now. This goes up to 79. So we're going to see duplicates, LVS, MU. These are all strikes that match the base criteria for 75% probability, double-digit return, reasonable downside protection on the position. These might not match your other criteria, Mike. I understand that. I want to save this search. I'm going to make sure I put in the 75% probability. I did. I've got the 7% if assigned annual. You might have moved that higher. And I've got the open interest of 5. And I removed the one result per security. All the other criteria remain the same. Let's save that, and we'll call it simulated CD plus higher probability and 5 open interest minimum. Now, just as we did with our iron condor study, let's go back midweek. Let's go to backtest. Let's go to Smart History Excel. Let's go to April the 14th or the 17th. We'll go to the 17th. Let's just see what's there. And I'm going to go to simulated CD plus. Again, I apologize. It's going to take some time there to go through as the API is interacting with the tables to upload the historical data from today. There we go. All right, so there were 102 total results that matched that criteria on Monday. And yes, a lot of them are 641 days out in time. Some of them are 277. Let's see the ones that are just 277 days out in time. Adjust on the fly to 280. And we had 79 total results that matched the criteria. Okay, so I'm going to say, Mike, 2 suggestions. Number 1, maybe take off that one result per security so you see more choices, even if there's duplicates like we saw with LVS or MGM or other ones of that nature. Here, Scorpio Tankers, Sting. I got 2 duplicates there from the April 17th date. My apologies, from Monday. If you have other criteria that are in there for stock selection, you're using a simple moving average or you're using something along those lines, that might also be hindering it as well. But I'm seeing some decent results here. I'd be happy to talk about it with you further. But 2 suggestions now: remove the one result per security, put in your criteria as you did, open interest greater than 5, greater than 0 even, put your probability up to 75% or higher. If you're not seeing results, scale back the return maybe a little bit too. But I think I'm seeing stuff here. Let's go midweek. Let's go to April 19th. With I am in the Iron Condor one. No, I'm not. Okay, sorry, folks. There we go. Simulated CD plus. My apologies. No, change the date, please. I don't think it did that right. I think one overwrote the other. And again, just taking a moment. There we go. 88 results. So a little bit less, but we've got good open interest on a lot of these. Might not have as much daily volume as you'd like, but that's what to expect in those cases. Probabilities all above the 75% range as requested. Some returns still in the double digits. The top 20 still above 10% return. Mixed between that 275, 271 days out in time, 273 days, and the 429 out to June, a year and 2 months from now, and to 2 years out, 639. So, but again, as I showed before, we could narrow that down to just the 275. 9 months away, I'm still comfortable with 8.4, almost at 1% return, with having a 33, 54, 43, 50.7% downside protection as well. So play around with that, Mike. Let me know if you're still having issues. We can go over it on a coaching session, discuss it over the phone, discuss it over emails we have in the past before as well. Just let me know. Or if there's a specific day that you found was really nerve-wracking where you couldn't find anything, I try to take a look at it historically, see what I come up with. I understand it, though, too. A lot of the times the married puts, when I use my search for the default married puts, for the Fusion portfolio that we post and everything, I add an open interest of greater than 3 or greater than 0 at least as well, and usually an option volume of greater than 0 too. That limits me greatly. And that discussion we just ended on about the VIX and that heads up from Kip that the one-day VIX is coming up with conversation about 0 days to expiration strategies with spreads and condors on the SPX and things of that nature. There was a piece in that article, and I know you've seen it too. And the piece in the article said that the most active options, we can look at that on PowerOptions too, but the article Kip sent me, they used their tool or their view on, I can't remember if it's the Wall Street Journal or something along those lines, but the daily most active volumes. Let's go here. It's over here. Let's go to Learning Center. And let's go to Market Activity. Do I want market? I want optionable stock statistics. I think this is a pod that I have, but oh yeah, I think I need to go back to the pod. This is not what I'm looking for. Let me go back one. There it is. Okay. Naturally, this is an expiration day. But what are today's highest option volumes? Daily SPY, 21st of April. Are these roller adjustments? No, these are probably positions that were just open today. 21 April, Amazon, Tesla. These are probably 0 days to expiration. Check this view on Monday. Again, we went to Learning Center and market statistics, and you can see the daily individual options. And a lot of them are going to be SPY one-day trades. Here's a lot of VIX that are going out to the 21 of June, the 40 call and the 30 call. I wonder if that's a spread. Ooh, that's interesting. Those could be bull or bear spreads. Look at the count. It's almost even. Well, not really, but these could be just buying, speculating on the VIX is going to rise up, or this could be a spread format as they're relatively close. QQQ, HYG, 21st of April, HYG, don't know. They usually are in there. But then the VIX, 17s also. And that's at 30 and 50. Similar number of contracts. I wonder if that's a bear spread or a bull spread or some other thing I'm not even thinking of. That's okay. But anyway, when I see numbers that close to each other, with those strikes close to each other, for that's open interest, so that's total. If you see that in volume, I immediately think spread, rather than a bunch of people just buying at those individual strikes. But that's just me. That's all right. So where I'm going with that is that same discussion where the 0 day to expiration strategies are becoming more popular. Every day, they point out in that article that Kip sent me that the most active options in the day are the ones that expire that day, not just on Friday, but it's the SPY daily options on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whether it's a weekly or standard expiration Friday. It's dominated by those. And then something crops up that's in the news. So these 0 day to expiration, these shorter term expirations really seem to be where the activity is drawn. There's not much out there going on further out in time for the conservative plays, such as the simulated CD or the married put approach using a 6, 8 to 10 month out put option. But I think we still saw some good open interest to match your goals for that one. I think you mentioned another problem. Let's take a look at it real quick. Let's go back to the default. And I think your issue here might be that last criteria that you mentioned. You said that you're also using a broker recommendation less than 2, meaning it has to be, well, let's just do it on the saved one we did. So the broker recommendation is based on the Zach scale, where 1 is a buy, 2 is a hold. I'm sorry, I apologize. 1 is a strong buy, 2 is a buy, 3 is a hold, 4 is a sell, and 5 is a strong sell. And we have it in here. That's already in there as part of the default. So I don't know. I was thinking it wasn't in there, and I was thinking maybe if you put that up to just 2.2. So it's still a good buy. There might be a hold or two in there, but it's still a good buy to strong buy recommendation, or slight buy to hold, or strong buy recommendation. So it's a toggle. You might want to try toggling that. Maybe take it up to 2.2, 2.3, see if you get better results. But that is in here too on this. And we're seeing some good numbers. We did remove the one result per security, of course, and made those other changes as necessary. And we still had a wide range of 79 results for the simulated CD covered call approach. All right. So, but again, play around with it again. Let me know. We'll walk through it. We'll see what we've got, see what maybe I'm missing. If there's an extra criteria you might have that I'm not catching on right now. But I'm seeing some good quantity of numbers with open interest, quantity of trades. Not going to say quality because we're not doing research and analysis here, but quantity of trades that are giving us sort of what we want to see for that high downside protection, high % return if assigned.